All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Demon Slayer, Season 1, Episode 6.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a mission. A mission for Tanjiro.
Yes, Tanjiro is going to be going to a village to the northwest to deal with a demon that is abducting young girls.
Yes.
But it doesn't seem to necessarily be violent yet. This is the thing.
Right.
That's maybe the mystery that will be solved here, is that while he is a demon hunter or demon slayer, it's not necessarily a thing of where you're going there to slay the demon. You probably will end up doing that.
Right.
But there's also the thing that you're protecting people from said demons.
Right. They don't even necessarily know if it's a demon yet because they haven't seen the thing. I mean,
they didn't call it a demon, though.
Oh.
They said there was a demon in that area and had been known to be doing that. So yeah, they don't know that it's a demon 100%, but that's what they said. So well, I guess it's more of a question of, like, given that he's been such a kind soul, you know, Tanjiro, will he primarily focus on going on and just doing everything he can to do with the scent track and hunt the demon, or go and kind of wait and protect like specific people that, you know, like, you know, corral all the young girls into a house and be like, all right, we'll wait, you know. But he's gone through the final selection and made his sword. Yes,
which is a black sword, not a red sword, like the smith was hoping to see.
Yeah, and it's probably why, like, he was making such a big deal about his hair being red, your eyes being red, and stuff. And it's like, oh, red's like your motif or something. That's lucky,
and
you know.
Right. Apparently, there's some world-building history of that being special.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yet he got a black sword. Right. So, okay, black sword. I'd like the, you know, homage to another character wielding a black sword. That's
that had a hair of the
reddish
persuasion. Yeah,
yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then we'll just figure out what he's going to do in the midst of this mission and where, if anything, Nezuko is going to be moved or just going to stay.
Right. That was going to be the story for her.
That was a big point of discussion in the previous episode. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion. All right. Okay, so we've got our character Kazumi, who is dealing with the fact that his girlfriend was taken by the demon, and now we are pretty certain she was eaten.
Yeah. Yep.
We've got another girl that he was able to save, Tanjiro. Tanjiro was able to save.
That's right.
Just barely, though, because of his incredible sense of smell. And this demon also, in some ways, kind of counters him quite well, because his attacks are melee based. So if you come out of the ground, it's like, well,
what do you do?
What do you do?
Well, and it's they counter each other because he's able to actually find the demon, right? Because can you imagine if someone was trying to go after it and they didn't have this special sense?
Yeah, usually
that'd be so frustrating. Like, that would be the kind of thing where, like, the DM's like, I have a really cool encounter, you know, designed for you, and it's just like, this isn't fun, DM. Like, can you just not? And it's like, oh, but wait, you have this sense so you can play whack-a-mole with it. You know where it's going to appear. Oh, okay. That's a lot cooler now.
Right,
you know?
Right. It's the inevitable end from Critical Role Season 2. Just... Yeah.
Right, but one-on-one, you know. So,
right. Yeah, exactly. But they literally had the after images of sorts in the inevitable end. Yeah. Except in this one, it's a little bit more interesting because
it's 1-on-3, and it's an escort protection mission.
But it's all the same demon. This is the thing I think that could be really interesting here, is that it's a form of, you know, multiple personalities and stuff. But they all have the same smell, which means they're not necessarily triplets. They are actually aspects all of the same demon. So they probably all split when it comes to the fight, but
feed together. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and it's cool because it gives the demon an advantage, right? That there's 3 of them, but it's not as if there were just 3 different demons, because we only have to worry about one mechanic, right?
Right.
Of they go into the ground and they can pop up and go back in very quickly, and travel very quickly and things like that. So, the whole thing of like staying away from the walls, yes, fantastic, right? Because that way you just have to focus on one plane, right? You don't have to worry about it attacking you from behind or something.
And while your defense is so good because of your sense of smell, you basically have a precognitive ability to know where it's attacking from. You're able to take care of yourself for the most part as long as your reaction time is good enough.
Yeah.
But I like the other aspect in that he's held back because he needs to protect these two.
Yep.
Because if he goes after one of them, one of the other two can then go in and grab them while he's distracted.
Yeah. And it's not even something as simple as another person that he could try and have them run and then protect them while they're running or something. They're also carrying someone. So, that they can't move anywhere very quickly. And even if they could, these demons could probably outrun them.
Yeah. It seems also the show thought of a thing that was going to be a potential problem in the future here, in just the casual like, oh, by the way, Tanjiro, I did a thing, so now Nezuko won't necessarily be a threat to humans,
right?
Necessarily,
yeah.
And and I'm like, okay, good. So now she can actually be a part of Tanjiro's story here,
right,
in a way that makes sense, as long as he's working his job, so to speak,
right,
and it's nighttime. She can help,
right,
and she can help a lot.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, like, we don't know how secure that is, though.
Right.
We just have to hope it's secure, right?
And the other thing is that so with Nezuko's whole setup, right, there are so many limitations, right? And there's so many potential areas for conflict, right? Because of, nighttime versus daytime, other people seeing her, whether she can control herself, all this stuff, right? And then the whole idea of actually being able to get information from demons to turn her back to human, right? But then on top of that,
right,
okay, we take care of the main issue of will she be able to control herself, and we take that down a lot, right? So that way she can interact a lot more openly, right? She can be
she can just go with him.
Right, she can just go with him and be a more active part of the story. But other people don't necessarily know that she has that level of control. Other people might see her, even though they saved this boy here, and I'm sure because he's seems like a good boy and stuff, he's not going to go blabbing. But if it was a different scenario, if there was a crowd of people, whatever, right? Or another person who hunts demons, right? That would be a bit of an issue, probably.
It would.
Even though she's fairly safe now. So, because I love the balance that they're striking, where basically they want Nezuko to be able to contribute, not just be in a box all day, and yet they don't want to cut too much of the tension of what will happen and how it can complicate things.
Right. And she is not a plot MacGuffin to win all of the fights, basically. She's kind of covering for him like a sibling would.
Yep.
They're both partners in this.
Right.
And the goal is very much reestablished, or not reestablished, just reminded here in that whatever they do, they have to do together, because Tanjiro needs to restore her to a human. That is his modus operandi. That is his goal. His motivation is everything for this, because he loves her, he cares about her, and he needs to redeem this situation.
Yep.
We are given a goal, an end goal of someone that could be helpful in this whole thing here. Helpful. Oh, it's okay, Tanjiro. There's an original demon out there that has been around for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe they would know something. Oh my God, you're setting him up on that path? Path towards the ancient super evil?
Yeah.
It's like, that seems rather quick, don't you think?
What I thought for sure they were going to do is they were going to say, here's a world mechanic in that there are demons, but then the demons that actually not necessarily have the ability, but just are intelligent enough to make other demons, are specifically descendants from this super demon that's like the oldest or something.
Right. We do know why demons become intelligent, though. That's That's based on their eating.
Exactly.
The more they eat, the stronger they get. Everything else. Yeah.
Right. But the fact that they're saying that it's not just like certain ones that are connected to him, but this demon specifically,
right?
That also means that he is turning humans at an astounding rate. because with the amount of demon hunters out there, now granted, you know, there's not too many of them, but if Tanjiro is able to take out small fry demons pretty easily, then one of the things that, like, because basically we have a single point of production.
I feel like there's a couple logic leaps being made here that I'm not following.
There might be. And it'll probably become clear what those are, you know, moving forward in the story. But like, because I was just super surprised that they introduced what I'm guessing is the super big bad this early and gave this direct of a connection to Nezuko.
In a lot of ways, the story is a rather personal family story. So you don't have to have world-ending, we have to protect reality from It doesn't have to go that big of a scale. And in some ways, the idea that Urokodaki is saying, well, we all know who the original demon is.
Right.
He still moves around and acts and does his things. So yeah, it's no secret that it's Muzan Kibutsuji or Kibutsuji Muzan. Okay, cool. This Muzan character, gotcha. Big deal.
Yes.
Really big deal in the whole demon side of things there. But that's more of a, okay, you'll probably want to go and, figure out stuff through him. Otherwise, you're not really going to get anywhere with this. Now, I think that's more of a thing of where they've never really probably tried to do this.
Sure.
Like, this is something where they're called, demon hunters or demon slayers. Like, there's no, demon recovery unit,
and that's the whole point of our main character and the name of this show being so apropos or ironic.
So he has a little bit of a catch-22 scenario here.
Right. And I'm curious if he did, not that, he would be going after this Muzan guy to kill him, but if this Muzan guy did end up dying somehow, if he's the one that's making all the demons, would that mean that suddenly the number of demons in the world would become finite? It would become like...
Okay, so I don't think that he is creating all the demons. I think that is a bit of a problem with the story's mechanics here. I think one of the things that's probably the most plausible is that any demon can create another demon. It's just that demons need food in order to survive, so they probably are very intentional about when they create another demon.
Right, and he's the only one that has been around long enough and consumed enough. He's the main one, at least, that has the awareness to do that. Because what I'm curious about because it seemed like something where it was something that a lot of demons could do, but then in this one it seemed they specifically a lot of demons would do, right? All the demons have creating other demons. They all have the potential of it, because if they get their blood into the other person, then the other person will become a demon, right?
Right. But are we assuming that the ancient of all demons went to Tanjiro's house?
That's what they seem to be saying, because Urokodaki said that, maybe we should bring the episode back up again, because when Urokodaki was talking about him, he specifically said that the ability to to turn demons or whatever, it seemed like he was saying that it was specifically this demon, which seems like if that is the case, right? I could totally be wrong, but if that's the case, that it's that one specifically, then that is a huge... No.
All he says here says that this was the first one to become a demon.
But just before that, he says, there's the type of demon with the blood that can turn humans into demons. There's only one in this world, just one. The one who was the first to become a demon.
Whoa, wait. So...
Because, when he started saying that, I thought he was going to say there's a specific classification of demon. Once they reach some state or whatever, once they've consumed enough humans to achieve some level of sentience, then they're able to hold their instincts back enough in order to create a spawn, right?
Oh, well, actually, you're 100% right here. Because he's saying, not only that, he's saying this... In other words, that is your family's foe. Family's foe, meaning specifically... the one that was the foe to your family that all died.
Which does a lot to recontextualize exactly what the stakes are going to be, not just for the world as a whole, but for Tanjiro specifically.
Well, again, we're keeping things very personal.
Oh yeah. Well,
here.
right, exactly. Is that and it's not just keeping things personal, but that the maximum possible, from what I'm guessing based on how they've built this guy up, the maximum possible like plot conflict, build up, whatever, is also going to be the maximum possible personal, like right. Intimate conflict.
Guys, I found Michael Jackson.
Oh my god.
He never died. He just became a demon.
He plane shifted out of the Yakuza universe into this one. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, look at this getup.
Yeah.
It's like, this is Michael Jackson. Like, okay, Muzan Kibutsuji is the only one, the type of demon with the blood that can turn humans into demons. There's only one in this world, which means there's only one type, even. Just one. The one who was the first to become a demon more than 1,000 years ago. In other words, that is your family's foe. Moreover, he's the one I know.
And that is...
might know how to turn your sister back into a human. Which means, no, if anything, that means in a lot of ways, I don't see this story as being one that's just surrounding, ancient super demons or something like that. It's probably going to be in a lot of ways surrounding around humans who have different ways of handling demons.
Sure.
Because I would say in a lot of ways this character is one that, yes, is probably really strong and a really big deal to the story with regards to Nezuko being transformed back. But hey, establishing a goal rather early on and one that's rather obvious means I'm excited for this character to then have a lot of screen time whenever they show up and just be like, oh yeah. And yeah, like I was, years ago, I was there.
Right.
And it's like, oh my god, that
And given that this guy, since they put a name on it, right, and it's a definitive thing. It's like because since there's a lot of parallels between this and say something like Full Metal Alchemist, right, where it's we need to get the humanity back, we need to get the MacGuffin to undo the thing that happened, right?
Right.
In this, it's pretty definitive that 90% chance it's this guy, right?
Yeah.
Which is very much you must defeat the Fire Lord, kind of a thing, even though there's not necessarily a timetable on it. That seems to me like now we have a concrete end goal as well for this story, which is a big deal. Yeah, or at least a concrete way in which Nezuko could be turned back into a human. Right.
This guy I don't think is going to be helpful.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
I don't think he'll say anything.
Oh, yeah. And given the fact that he's 1,000 years old and that he's still around, like that the demon hunters know this guy's name, and yet he's still just alive and out there, that there's a very good possibility that this guy is on such a level past all the demons and maybe has a different philosophy about things, right? He just wants to make demons. He doesn't necessarily want to do things himself. That we could have multiple encounters with this guy.
Tons.
Like tons, and the conflict isn't stopped because he's so powerful we can't physically stop him, and he decides that he doesn't want to help, right?
I would say the best thing they could do with this character is make him one that's not that evil in terms of the
like not straightforward about it.
I was going to preface what I was saying here, not so evil in the acts that he does.
Okay.
It's that he sets up opportunities for evil to propagate itself. I think the perfect example of this is what actually happened at Tanjiro's house. This is probably my last thing for the stuff on this guy here, is that if he went and did all this, that means in some ways he set this all up there and didn't turn all of them into demons.
Right.
Because the Nezuko needs some food in order to become a good and strong and healthy demon. And he is not the kind of person where he would go and torture them or anything like that. No, he instantly probably went in and just slaughtered them all and killed them. But maybe he gained some sick satisfaction of the idea of like, I'm going to make this lovely sister and daughter of this
Feed on her family.
Feed on her family.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's beautiful what happens when a human being's demonic urges are unlocked and get to see them go rampant and crazy.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jackson looking mother... Yeah. Okay. So I think the way he's going to defeat this demon is he's going to turn the three selves against each other.
Oh yeah.
It's a Shatterpoint style thing that fits in with his whole thread thing. And then also it's a way that can lead towards a non-violent not necessarily a violent conclusion.
Sure. And that is definitely something that's more exciting than like if he kills them one at a time kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Or Nezuko kills one, he
right,
kills
right.
one,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the other
exactly.
one he probably like talks to or something.
Although the fact that they did stop to talk did make things a lot more interesting, because even though they didn't want to negotiate or things like that, right?
Right.
It was very much a thing where they were doing their demon thing. Also, I think I just realized that their horns
Number them.
Yeah, number them.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Pretty
but
sure
if there's one of the three that survives,
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Then that could create some interesting dialogue options.
Nezuko, I gotta say, is the perfect level of cute, badass, deadly. Like, like they took so many little tropes of a character that's like they usually never get attached to the Emoto, kind of younger sister character, and they just mishmash them all together, and I'm like, I kind of like Nezuko's simplicity and also having this hodgepodge mix of tropes. It's just fun.
I am a big fan of the fact that like because especially like one of the things that I've seemed to notice as time goes on from like anime perspective, from like early 2000s to like now, is that a lot of times the designs will get needlessly more and more complicated.
Sure.
Like specifically for the people that they want to be the waifus, right? And I like that they don't do that in Nezuko's case here. It's simple, and the story mechanics for why she's the small person that is very powerful, it works.
It works really well. So we're going to continue this fight in the next episode.
Yep.
So if you want to see that next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yep, that's right. I wrote a sci-fi novel, and it's awesome. It's called Battle Lines. It's available for purchase on Amazon. Links in the description below. It's in both hardback and ebook, so whichever works best for you, go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.